Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. Coming to you live in the beautiful Grand Princeton here in downtown Lutres, California. It's on a beautiful, beautiful California day. I'm so happy that you're here. Your smiles tell it all. So let's make a little deposit to the joy bank. Make a deposit to the joy bank. To the joy bank. To the joy bank. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank, to the joy bank. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today. 'Cause happiness is wonderful, but doesn't last too long. And the joy bank is always open, and your account can never be overdrawn. Make your deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank, to the joy bank. Make your deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today. Now just make some funny sounds. Do, 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 happiness is wonderful, but doesn't last too long. The joy bank is always open, and your account can never be overdrawn. Yeah, make your deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank, to the joy bank. Make a deposit to the joy bank, to the joy bank today.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. My name is Reverend David Clark. I'm the senior minister here, and it is my distinct pleasure to be speaking to you today. We had some technology, blessed technology. Everyone bless our technology.
Blessed technology.
Blessed technology. That's happening this morning, and boy, we got a great service lined up for you. Good morning, Billy.
Good morning, David.
How's it going?
Well, for me, it's going pretty crazy. You guys are not going to see me for a couple of weeks. Don't fear not. We've got some great people coming in to take my place. But I'm heading down to LA for my big concert. It's happening next week on Wednesday and Thursday. Some of you guys are coming down. I appreciate that. And there will be a video made and a recording made. So I'll be sure to share that with everybody when we get that all done. So but that's the exciting news on my plate.
Oh, and I heard you rehearsing earlier.
Yeah.
That there's something fresh and new that I heard that's like hot off the press.
Well, sometimes the title talk just jumps out at me, and Tell Me Something Good immediately went to, oh, I know that song. But that, maybe I can write another one that's a little different. And so I did. You'll hear it today for the first time.
Yeah, okay. World debut. World premiere. So, again, welcome to our online audience. We are glad to have you here from parts all over the universe. And we welcome you no matter what size, shape, no matter what political designation you have, no matter what your color, your gender identity or expression. We don't care. We welcome you. Our doors are open for you. So, what have you stumbled into the Science of Mind teaching, and what do we do here? Well, what's that?
What is it?
Yeah, what is it? Billy wants to to know. It's a teaching based on universal principles that run as a common thread through religions and philosophies of all kinds. And I'm doing double duty today. Our kind of fortunately and unfortunately, our sound and video person, our regular person, Patrick, that's here, Patrick Hennessy, you may guess that, yes, he is Irish. And yes, this is a very important day for him. He's in an Irish rock band, and he's out gigging right now. So you know that it's a very important day for him. And please welcome our blessed video and sound folks, Gary and Heather in the back there, that are stepping up for Patrick. So thank you for that. Now back to what is science of mind. It is the realization that God is not out there somewhere, but residing within us at all times. And that gives us many benefits to know this and to practice knowing this. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But one of those benefits is, as we know and we believe, that as we believe, so it is unto us. As we believe things about this life and about ourselves, those things are made manifest right in front of our eyes. And we pay a lot of attention to what we believe in this philosophy, because we know we're going to turn around and probably see it in our lives. So we have four main things that we believe in this philosophy and that we practice. I say all that to excuse my clumsy fumbling here. Patrick would be back there kind of running things for me, but it's all on me today. So what do we believe? We believe, first and foremost, we believe that love is all there is. Everything is a call for love, an expression for love, a reflection of love. We pay a lot of attention to where we apply our love in this philosophy, because we know that where we put our love, love will grow. So that is number one. We believe that love is all there is. Number two, we believe that all thought is creative and influential. Thoughts are things. Everything in your life, everything in our lives has been preceded by thought. It was alive in our minds before it became material. So again, we pay a lot of attention to what we think and what we believe, because those thoughts have power. Number three, we believe that you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. Yes, with your aches and pains. Yes, with your unfinished projects. Yes, with your mistakes. Yes, with your victories. You are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now, because that is exactly what you've ever been, is whole, perfect, and complete. That's the first thing you are. Everything else is just changing condition and changing forms of good. But we believe that your base, at your core, you are whole, perfect, and complete, and connected to Spirit. And number four, we believe in a world that works for everyone. And we're working from that world together. It's a world that is operated on love and law and cause and effect, that has worked the same way that it has always worked since the beginning of creation. The only thing that says the world doesn't work is our brains. And then, because we believe that the world doesn't work that way, we get to live in a world that doesn't work for everyone. But if we can tune our minds to embrace the power and the grace that we have available to us through Spirit, through that connection to Spirit and that connection to each other, we're going to see this world work for all of us in a different way. In a different way than today. So those are our beliefs. And now it's time for my favorite time of the day, our Namaste time, where we get a chance to greet each other and to greet the divinity that is inside each and every one of us with Namaste. So let's take a few moments for that. how wonderful that is. To just look in each other's eyes and not think about anything, not make any calculations other than, I see God in you. I see God in you. That's the easiest calculation to make. And I encourage you to do that in your world outside of the center today. So please join me and welcome our pulpit assistant for the day, Marty Meyer. It's going to be her first time doing it, and she's going to give us our vision, our mission, and today's affirmation. And welcome, Marty. Good morning.
Our vision statement. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. So let's stand up and repeat this, internalizing it together. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. And our mission to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired, to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. Together,
our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired, to embody spiritual principles and live
their inherent greatness. Thank you. And today's affirmation. Today, I see with the eyes of love and allow compassion to lead the way in every thought and action. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Good morning.
All right, our first announcement is the season for peace and nonviolence is January 30th through April 4th, created by the Association of Global New Thought. It's a 64-day period between the assassinations of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. And to close out this season for us here at CSL Yolo, we invite you to join us as we welcome guest speaker Dr. Donsalee Abernathy on April 7th. And Dr. Donsalee Abernathy is the youngest daughter born to Mrs. Juanita and Reverend Dr. Ralph Abernathy. Got my doctors mixed up. Who created, with his best friend, here he comes, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the American Civil Rights Movement, which changed the course of American history. As you can see in the picture above, the young child is Miss Abernathy, and she participated in the Selma Montgomery March. Dr. Donsalee Abernathy is an activist, actor, speaker, and will share her insights on the beginnings of the civil rights movement based on Gandhi's teaching and the practice of nonviolence. We are looking forward to this amazing opportunity and invite you to join us here in person at the GPO to share this wonderful event. And we will appreciate love offerings. They are very welcome. And so that's April 7th, and I hope to see you here. Next up is Jason Gerardo. He is inviting you to the scheduled Zoom meeting to embark on a journey of healing and renewal as you explore the profound art of forgiveness through Ho'oponopono, a modern twist to an ancient art. And he's doing this on March 21st at 11 o'clock. And don't miss out on this opportunity. And if you want to find out how to get the link and join the workshop, please reach out to Jason at onepathcoaching@gmail.com. Lastly, we have an opportunity to share your valuable time. Come support NorCal Resist, this month's tithing partner, and their efforts to fight insecurity, as well as providing diapers and other essentials to those in need volunteering on March 23rd at 9 a.m. here at Winters Healthcare at 172 East Grant Street. Please visit their site and fill out the volunteer form at norcalresist.org. We hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. And now as we enter into the more contemplative portion of today's service, please join me in singing, How Could Anyone Ever Tell You? How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thank you for that, Billy. It's beautiful. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 3 sacred readings this morning. Divine guidance is ours for the asking. The answer to any problem which can ever confront us already exists at the center of our being. Ernest Holmes in This Thing Called You. Ideas are coming to me at every instant, and they offer me a greater portion of life than I now have. I accept them, and I increase my good. And it's by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barkley from 365 Days of Richer Living. Let us acquiesce. Let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits. And that's by Ralph Waldo Emerson in Spiritual Laws. Welcome.
I'm inviting you to relax. Breathing in, breathing out, and just releasing anything that came before this moment. And as we connect with Spirit in our heart space, we recognize that there's really only ever one thing happening. There's only one thing going on, and that is creative intelligence, universal source, divine energy, spirit, God, life, whatever name you want to call it. It's this sum total of all good. And it flows through everything. It is within, around, and as us. That's what we are. We are spirit. We are peace. We are love. We are joy. We're wisdom. And just feeling that for a moment. And so as we move from our head space into our heart space, that deeper understanding fills our heart with thanksgiving, with gratitude, with trust with faith. And so we're blessing this service. We're blessing Billy with his amazing uplifting music. We're blessing Reverend David with his inspirational messages. We're blessing everyone who came here early to help hold this service together. And we're blessing everyone who showed up to enjoy it. And so I'm knowing that everything is unfolding in absolute perfection, just as it is. And that we can release this prayer, let it be, knowing that all is well. And I invite you to join me with the words, and so it is.
So it is.
Thank you.
And I just wanna tell you, you don't have to work so hard. And I just wanna tell you, the world is bigger than your backyard. And I just wanna show you how to be true to yourself. And that being rich has nothing to do with wealth. And I just wanna share this world with you. And I just wanna tell you, you don't have to figure it out. And I just wanna tell you, love is what it's all about. And I just wanna show you how to live with an open heart. We are the image of the Creator, and our life is ours. And I just want to share this world with you. What I want you to know will surely help your spirit to grow. And what I want you to see is all that you can be. And I just want to tell you, you're beautiful as you are. And I just want to tell you, your heart is a shining star. And I just want to show you how the world is just living, and they're living here right now. There's so much more than surviving. I just want to share you, world with you. Share this world with you. And I just want to share this world with you. With you.
Thank you, Billy. Sorry about that. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. And I am a little bit in remiss because you might have noticed I don't have any green on. Yes. But there's green in my heart, though. There's green in my heart. So, I like problem solving. I like problem solving because I think that I'm kind of good at it, you know. And I like to stretch my brain and get a problem. It's like, yeah, I can figure it out. And then I'll sit down and start picking it apart, you know. And I'll find a creative idea or a solution, and I'll pat myself on the back. Good job, Dave. It's always good to get that pat on the back. And it's always good to think that I did it myself. I did it all by myself. I didn't need anybody's help. I didn't have to call Billy. Oh. Advance the slide. I know, just another problem. Well, let's stick with that. I'm getting to that, but we'll stick with it for now. And so, if you're like me, if you like using your brain, if you like solving problems and puzzles and figuring things out, then you're probably pretty proud of your brain and your acumen and your ability to do that. But what happens when you cannot do it? What happens when you have a question in your life, something happening, something going on, and you don't know what to do? You're stymied. You are perplexed. You are puzzled. The answer is not there. No matter how much you search for it, no matter how much you try to figure it out on your own, you can't quite grasp the answer, the solution. What do you do? Well, if you're like me, if you're like how I was, then it must not be something that I'm supposed to be figuring out. So I set it aside. I'll forget about it. It's like, okay, well, maybe I wasn't cut out to do that. Maybe I shouldn't have, I just set it aside and I'll just leave it. And that's all well and good, but there are good things that I have set aside that I can't find the answer to. There's random inspirations in there. There are project ideas. There's career ideas. There's there's resolutions to problems. There's life-transforming ideas that if I can't come up with it myself, then I'll just set it aside. But we aren't the end of the road. Okay, the buck does not stop here. The buck stops with spirit. And that means that the buck never stops. We have access to the big mind, okay? And when our problem-solving skills fail, we have to lock in as divine individuals and realize the truth of things. Truth number one is we never did anything on our own. We have to get used to that idea. No matter how confident we are with our brains, no matter how smart we aren't ever doing anything alone. We are always partnered with Spirit. And so that's the first thing we need to get ourselves used to. The second thing is that we have access to the mind that knows everything. There is a mind, one mind, that knows everything that ever was and everything that ever will be. And how does that work? Well, here's an example. Before we had discovered oil and all the magical things that oil can do, fossil fuels can do, they existed. They were all here. All the fossil fuel in the world was here. It existed. It was all this potential, and it was buried underground, and nobody knew about it. But it was still here, though, waiting for us to discover it and waiting for us to put it to work. But the fact that it was here represents that one mind, okay? The oil was always here, and it could always do what it did, and it could do even more than that. But until we are looking for it, we don't see it. But just because we don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Right? The fact that it exists means that it exists in the universal mind, in Spirit's mind. Everything is there. In Spirit's mind, Spirit knows where all the oil is and what all the oil can do. Spirit knows about electricity and everything that electricity can do. We are just kind of catching up. We are pulling ideas out of the universal mind and we're using them. But we're pulling out ideas that have been there since the beginning of time. So that is the mind that we have access to. That is the mind that knows where you put your car keys. Knows exactly what you did with it. That knows where all of those lost socks are. The one mind knows where all of that is. If it is to be known, it is in this mind. So, you may think to yourself, well, geez, how do I get into this mind? How do I get into a rapport with Spirit to where I can take these things that I can't figure out and I can give them to Spirit and I can go look into this vast repository of information and pull out what I need, pull out my inspiration, pull out my ideas, pull out my solutions. How do we do it? Well, another thing that we have to get used to is that this one mind of Spirit, it's Spirit, and it is your mind. This mind is God's mind, and this mind is my mind. They are one. We are one with Spirit. So we have access to this mind. All we need to do is to know that we do. To know that we are one with Spirit. So how do we know when Spirit is communicating to us? That's the topic of the day. Tell me something good. We want to know our way to good. So how do we know? Well, Spirit's funny. Spirit shows up when we least expect it to. Spirit shows up in all forms and in all shapes and in all sizes and in all ways. Spirit is constantly communicating to us. So one of the first things we need to know is what Spirit is not saying. Spirit is not telling you you can't. Spirit will never say you're limited. Spirit will never say, you're not worthy. Spirit loves you. God loves you. And so the first thing that God wants you to know is that fact. You are loved and supported by Spirit. Spirit is never going to tell you anything that the Spirit's never going to say, oh, go hurt that person. You're not worthy of love. You can't have this. You can't do this. You can't have this in your life. Spirit is not going to limit you at all. Spirit is just going to reveal to you your vast gifts and your powers and things that you didn't know, wonderful things that you didn't know about yourself. And we have to be open to receive these messages. So there's three little states of mind to get into to kind of get used to this flow of information that you get from Spirit. Number one is the one that's on your screen now. I don't know how, but Spirit does. I don't know how I'm going to work this out. But remember that one mind that we have access to. That one mind knows how to work this out. Knows how to work out your issues and bring about your good. And we can embrace the fact that we personally, right now, that information isn't privy to us, but we know that we have access to it. We know that God will reveal it to us. And we have to practice that knowing. We practice that through affirmative prayer, what we call, back in the day, we call spiritual mind treatment. It sounds kind of scary, but all that is affirmative prayer. All that is knowing the truth of Spirit in our lives right now. So that's one way. Another way is through meditation, getting quiet, getting still, and knowing your connection to Spirit. And then to have your eyes open. And that's the second thing that we need to get with, is God winks. And everybody wants to hear from God, but nobody wants a burning bush in their living room. But sometimes it doesn't take a burning bush, okay? Sometimes it doesn't take that 2x4. We're always watching out for the 2x4 from Spirit. Do you know what the 2x4 is? That's when you're kind of bopping along, I'm doing my thing, and then all of a sudden, pow, you're hit. And it's something that you've got to address immediately. Some bit of information, some illness, some big major event, like a car crash, or something major to grab your attention and say, hey, pay attention to this area of your life. We generally don't like the 2x4 because it's a shock. But I'll tell you, before the 2x4 comes, God is constantly speaking. Okay, before we get the 2x4 upside the head, we get a whisper in the ear. We get that gentle caress from God that tells us, yes, we're okay. Yes, hey, you need to pay attention to this little area of your life over here. Don't let it get too big, because I'm going to get louder. I'm going to get louder and louder. And God follows our beliefs. If we are in a situation that needs to change, and we deep down believe, oh man, this situation has to change, and we don't do anything about it, we just stay in the situation, be it a relationship, be it a job, be it something that, a place that we shouldn't be in. That's when the 2x4 comes. But before that, God is saying, hey, you know where you should go. You know that you don't belong in this certain place. I had a great job one time. A job that I never thought that I would ever leave. They loved me. I was a store manager at Craig and Auto. You remember Craig and Auto? And I worked my way up to store manager, and I was filled with great accomplishments because I was a store manager young. I was about 24 when I got my store. And I was the darling of the district. I was promoted, and I felt great. I felt like fully powered and empowered, and I go into this job, and I go into my first store, and I'm a hit. All the numbers come up. And you know those numbers that you're concerned with. If you ever worked retail, you know you got your comp sale, you know, if you're from last year, you got all your related sales that you should be adding on to the big ticket items. All of these things were up. Because I was great. I'll admit it. I was good at my job. And we have to know these things about ourselves. You know, when we're great, we have to declare, hey, you know, I'm pretty good at that. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. So I was really, really good at my job. And I was rather full of myself, and I went to my district manager, and I said, hey, you know what? I've been at this for a year, you know, I'm pretty successful. I'm ready for a bigger store. You know, I had a small store, a small crew, and I mastered that. And I said, hey, I'm ready for more. And so my district manager, who was a big fan of me, said, hey, you got it. And put me in another store, put me in a bigger store. This store was about 4 times the volume of the store that I had. I had a crew of 10 at my other store. I had a crew of 25 and delivery drivers at this other store. It was a lot. It was a big step up. But I felt that I could do it, right? I was confident, so I stepped into it. I step into it, I'm going like gangbusters. I'm fixing things, I'm changing things. I'm trying to change the culture. And all the while, I'm getting this inkling that this isn't what I want to do. this isn't the amount of work that I want to put in. This is not where I want to put my energy, because it was taking me so much energy. I was putting in, 60 to 70 hours a week at the store. I was doing my all because it was something that I was good at. So I felt that I was obligated to step into that and to live from that position of strength and power that I had found. And so I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to quit. So I kept on, and then the weeks and months dragged by, and I'm not at home, and home life is suffering. My mental attitude is suffering. I start to get a little worse and worse at my job, and I start not to love it at all. But I'm not a quitter. I keep on with it. I stay with it until one day my district manager comes to me. My district manager that was a big fan of mine, he promoted me to store manager. He said, hey, guess what? I got a promotion. I'm leaving. And I said, hey, great, good for you. And then we got a new store manager, we got a new district manager in the district. And I don't know if you've ever felt this, but when you meet someone and then they immediately don't like you. Have you ever felt that? And I've never been one of those people who's like, they didn't like me. That's why I left that job, because they just didn't like me. Well, this person didn't like me. It's true. And from the second that we shook hands, and I said, hi, my name is Dave, and we shook hands, and she looked at me like, just with a blank expression. And I'm a charming fellow. I'm nice. I'm a nice person, but this person gave me a blank. So I wrote it off. The next thing I know, there's an investigation in my store. There's people being interviewed. It's like, where are you going? It's like, I'm going to the district office. I have an interview. An interview that I don't know about? I'm the store manager. I need to know about all this stuff. Well, the thing is, she started an investigation on me, and then pulled me into her office and told me about all of these different things and different things that were going on in the store, and different reasons that they were going to have to let me go. And I thought to myself, this is impossible. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I've done for this company? Are you aware? I was crushed. Because it was the first experience of my life to where I put so much of myself into something, and then to get so crushed, like immediately upon someone else coming in. But that was meant to be. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't have found my next job, which was a fantastic job that I wound up keeping for the next 25 years. That was way better than the job that I had. If I stayed there, I might not have found my calling for ministry and be here sitting in front of you all. If I had stayed, my life would have continued to deteriorate. But because I'm not a quitter, I wouldn't have quit. I would have stayed and endured it. And all the while, the Spirit is whispering in my ear, hey, there's something else for you. Hey, there's something else you can do. There's somewhere else you can go. There's a life that's waiting for you outside of this world of misery that you're in. And Spirit was very, very kind, very sweet, very gentle to me. Had very calm, quiet, initial words for me that I promptly ignored. And I ignored and I ignored and I ignored until Spirit said, look, David, there are things that you need to do. You need to be up out of here. Pow. And then I got the 2x4. I got the strange things started to happen that moved me out of that position and into the position that I needed to be in, that I knew was for me. These are the things that we need to listen to Spirit to. How much are we suffering right now in a situation that is within our realm of control? Why don't we change these things? Because we're not quitters, because we're too smart, because we've got this figured out, because it's something that we always wanted and we got it. That's a great excuse. God has given me this. I can't just give it up. Your gifts from God, your blessings from God go on without end. We go from one blessing to another blessing to another to another to another. The blessing that I had from that job was a true blessing. But if I let that go, does that mean that God's going to say, oh, you're going to get rid of your blessing, son? No more for you. I'm through messing around with you. No. When we leave that one blessing, we are entering into another blessing. And another, and they will not cease. How do I know this? Because it's been happening the same way since the beginning of time. God, Spirit, giving. It's not going to stop with me, and it's not going to stop with you. So God waits before God gives the 2x4 to move us into the place that we truly want to be. Another thing surprised me. Are you one of those people that doesn't like surprises? Have you ever met those kind of people? It's like, I don't like surprises. Don't surprise me. But that is really just kind of a way of controlling the good that comes into your life. We have to be open for surprises because that's how Spirit works. Those are the mysterious movements of Spirit, okay? We don't know how this good is going to come into our lives. We don't know. It could happen in a myriad of different ways. What we have to do is be open for all of those ways that God can communicate with us. To know that God is communicating love and peace and empowerment and wisdom. Those are the only things that God is saying to us. So we need to look for those messages everywhere. You turn on a TV, you get a commercial that a person's saying exactly what you were just thinking. You're walking down the street, you're seeing a sign that is, oh wow, I was just thinking about taking a trip there, and here I see on the side of a bus it says to go there. It happens all the time, and because Spirit is following us. Following us, listening to our thoughts, listening to our beliefs, and responding in kind. So if we believe that we are loved and cared for by a Spirit that is in constant communication with us, then that is going to be what we experience. We will experience unlimited communication with Spirit. Unlimited messages of love. And they are messages of love because think of who you love in your life. Just pick out one person. What do you want them to know most of all? That you love them. That you love them. God is no different. The only difference is that God can and does show us that love every moment of every day that we're here. In every different way that you can think of. It is that love that opens the lines of communication. So, be open for surprises from Spirit. Don't be afraid. You know, the reason that I don't like surprises is because I think it's something bad. I don't want a bad surprise. Okay? I don't want to get knocked upside the head. I don't want to fall into a hole when I don't expect it. I don't want the bad surprises. I want good surprises. I want the surprise party. I want the bank error in my favor, you know? I want those great surprises that we love. We're talking about surprises from Spirit. So they're only going to be expressions of love. We don't have to worry about something bad coming from God. We don't have to worry about being punished from God. God doesn't punish us. God loves us. The only person that punishes us is us. But God's got nothing to do with that. God is all about love and wants you to know that you have access to everything that God is. So that's our home play for this week. In our quiet moments, in our prayers, in our meditations, let us practice knowing who and whose we are. We are beloved children of Spirit. We are shards of the infinite. We have a divine birthright to all the good that God is. And God just wants us to know that. And to step into that. And to live that. And what manifestations come forth? The sky's the limit. So let's take that into prayer. Let us go inside for a moment. Turn it off? No, it didn't. Let us go inside. Inside to that place of peace, that place of stillness, that place of quiet, that place that is always inside us. That place of love, that place of creativity. Place of oneness. And it is from here that we declare that there is one Spirit, one guide, one mind. One word. Yes, yes, yes. And it is this blessed yes that enables us to enjoy all of the qualities of God, to not only enjoy but to utilize all of the love, the light, the peace, the joy, the beauty, the wisdom, all that God is, we are a part of. And so as we believe in peace, we will see peace. As we believe in peace, our actions become peaceful. As we believe in love, our actions become loving. As we believe in oneness, we act to take care of each other. I'm so thankful to know that Spirit makes it so. I'm so grateful to know that as real experiences that I can feel and spread out to other people. I know my divine birthright. I know my connection to Spirit. And because I do, I also know the connection to Spirit for each and every person here. I know the goodness of Spirit working its way through each and every life. I know that that blessed yes is the answer to every question that we have, to every need that we have. And so, with this gratitude, knowing that my thoughts can change my life, knowing that my thoughts can change my life, not only change my life and bring my life into more peace, but it affects the world. Each and every step we take towards peace and love affects the world. In the great and in the small, love ripples out from our beings. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your limitless mind, and thank you for your constant communication to us of love, of support, of worthiness. Of limitless potential. And so let us all release these words, knowing that they're acted on as soon as they're spoken. As soon as they're accepted into our hearts, Spirit starts to act. What visions of love will we see? What visions of peace will we see? What manifestations of joy will we experience? And so I drop these blessed questions into the mind of the universe to be answered in infinite ways. And let us all release these words into the mind of the universe, knowing that they're true and done with the words, and so it is.
Thank you so much, David. Thanks for telling us something good. That was good. Yeah, that's a good phrase. Tell me something good. I want to believe it. Tell me something good. I'm ready to receive it. Tell me something good. Yeah. And when it seems the future's bleak and all the bad news is just making me weak, I need to find a way to make it all okay. Tell me something good. I want to believe it. Tell me something good. I'm ready to receive it. Tell me something good. Yeah. And when it feels that all is lost, and trying to stay safe just isn't worth the cost, I have to try to see the world as it can be. Tell me something good. Tell me something like it. Oh yeah. Tell me something good. Whoa. again. Oh, tell me something good. I want to believe it. Tell me something good. I'm ready to receive it. Tell me something good. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. You just cooked that up, huh?
Yeah, just a couple
Oh, man. Talk about hearing from spirit. The artist's mindset. The artist knows how to speak to God and how to listen. So we are a center that observes the spiritual practice of giving and tithing. We call it conscious, committed, structured giving. And there's many ways to give and expand your abundance consciousness. We give of our time through volunteering. We give of our talents through participation. And we give of our treasure through financial donations. Your gifts help us in our mission to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and to live their inherent greatness. And we have a tithing partner. Every month we tithe with a different, we get with a different partner, and we share part of our tithe with them. And it's our way of reaching out into the community and helping to support organizations that have beliefs and values that align with our own. So this month we are partnering with NorCal Resist. You might remember them from the announcements. I had the right slide up. Their mission is to fight injustice through making a positive impact in their communities. And they host educational events, trainings, organize actions, and maintain a variety of resources and programs that provide support to those in need, primarily in our immigrant community. And they are in need of some of the most help right now. And that's what NorCal Resist does. So please, as you are giving, please know that we're giving a portion of our tithe to that worthy organization. So there are several ways to give. You can text to give to that number. You can, if you're PayPal savvy, you can give us a PayPal donation. You can go out to our website, CSLYolo.org, and click on the Donate Now button, and you can give that way. Or you can send us a good old-fashioned check or money order to CSL Yolo, P.O. Box 1361, Davis, California, 95617. So now that we know why we give, and we know how to give, let us enter into that abundant, sacred consciousness of divine abundance. And I invite you to place your hand over your heart, symbolizing that vibrational energy. And say with me our abundance affirmation. I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. Today, I celebrate my prosperity and my ability to share from my overflow of good. I give from the knowledge that all is well.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
We bless and release these gifts to do their work of proclaiming the good news that all is well. As we have freely given according to the law of circulation, it returns to us full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. so we will always have more to enjoy and to spare, to give and to share. For this we give thanks, we let it be so, and so it is. All right, we have a message for our children that are out there. You see them, they're running this way. They're coming right at us. They're fixing to run me over. We want to say we love you. We're here for you. And we're so glad you're here. All right. And the children out there can hear us. We believe in the power of connection at this center. And what does that mean? That means that we believe that we are connected to Spirit. We are eternally connected to Spirit. And we are connected to each other. And that connection has power. And we exercise that power in many ways. But one of our favorite ways to exercise that power is through prayer. So if you find yourself in need of prayer today, please let us know. Prayer practitioners are standing by. You can come to me. I almost said Reverend Deborah. Dr. Deborah. That could be something in your future. Who knows? Dr. Deborah is here also as a prayer practitioner. If you have need of prayer, if you are working on something in your life and you have a difficulty finding Spirit also working alongside you, then please let us know and let us pray for you. It is what we're trained to do. It's what we love to do. And it's our gift to you. So also after the service, we have fellowship down there. We are going to have food. We've got some fruit. We got coffee. We got tea. We got all kinds of stuff down there. So please join us after the service downstairs in the fellowship hall for food, fun, friends, family, and all kinds of other things down there. So please join us after the closing song and benediction, which we are having right now. So let's circle up. Expecting to hear from Spirit, and always remember that God loves you, and so it is.